that's bright lights. Woo, woo. Goodness, I'm the beacon of professionality. What's going on, everybody? It's Pete. Here I am. It's the Pit. It's a special edition. It's a Saturday. This is crazy. Don't know why I'm here. Actually, I do know why I'm here. We're here to talk about some stuff. We got some friends at conventions. Our buddy Warren Brown, Lunchbox Warren, is at a show. Our buddy Larry Higgins, Niobe, is at a show tonight. I'll be at a show tomorrow. So we're going to talk about that for a second. We're going to update everybody on how everybody's doing. The meat, the crux, the idea, the reason why we're all here is we're going to talk about Colin Kaepernick and AI. It's a touchy subject. I obviously am on the bandwagon of fuck AI, but we got to talk about it, right? We have to have this discussion. We have to. I do not like this camera where it is. I just hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I hate it. I try to get it. Somebody told me you should be more face on with your camera. I get it. I get it. I really do, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Let me shoot the link to my buddy Angel. I guess I can't do that. I'm going to share. I got most things done, and I wasn't able to share the links as much as I wanted to. Also, I will give you guys a quick heads up. I'm in the middle of a really balls deep electrical storm, and I don't know exactly how that's going to affect me at all today. I don't know how it's going to affect the stream. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. I'm hoping that it doesn't really affect too badly, but we'll see. If it does, I'll let you guys know. We'll try to make it as close to the middle as possible. I will say this. I do have to. Well, let's start with transparency. I wasn't exactly a fan of Colin Kaepernick as a player. I'm a Giants fan. He was a 49er. There's some history there. I'm not a big 49ers guy. I'm really not. But when he started taking the knee, when he started doing that, and he actually ended up sacrificing his career to shed a huge spotlight, a national spotlight, onto what was going on and what's still going on in this country in regards to police brutality towards black men and towards Latinos, guys like me, but women too. It was just incredible. I thought it was incredible. But as an artist, I wanted to create a piece about that, but I didn't want to give everybody my true, not my true, that's the wrong way of saying it. I didn't want to really tell people what to think. Or I didn't want to tell people what I thought. I wanted to do something that would make people, to basically, in the spirit of what he did, to make people talk, to start a conversation. I wanted to start the conversation. And so I did this. We'll full screen that there. That is my version. That was a piece that I did a few years ago, right? And everything was going hot. I actually showed it at the Pancakes and Booze art show. I had some prints of it too. The piece was sold before I showed it at the Pancakes and Booze show. It was sold before the show started. It was right after I posted that it was finished. It doesn't really tell you what I think, but it makes you want, you know who it is. You know what it's about, obviously. So you wanted to, hopefully it made people have an opinion. And if you have an opinion about this, I absolutely would love to hear what you have to say about it. That would be really cool to me. Yeah, I'd be really interested in what you have to say in regards to this. So that would be really cool. It was something that I wanted to talk about, and I just put it out there. But now we jump forward to what he's doing now, and it's kind of weird. Oh, I should have sent it to Max too. I forgot to send a link to Max. Hold on a second. I want to send our buddy Max DeVille is around, so I want to send him the linky link if he's around. Oh, Jesus Christ. Why is this so difficult? I was unprepared and I worked today and I still have a show tomorrow and I have to do paintings for it. Still have to finish 2 paintings for it. They're not hard. Uh, let's give you. Do I have? Oh, I don't. I don't at all have anything to show you in regards to that. I apologize. I apologize. I'm very. Oh, Jesus. I'm very out of control right now, folks. I apologize. I'm all over the place, and it's my own damn fault. We'll fix that right now if I can find this damn ad. And I found it. Excellent. So we'll stop sharing Colin here. Back to my ugly face. Then we'll jump over to this. Let you guys know that tomorrow I will be at the Long Island Collectible Show, sponsored by our buddies at Hot Flips, from 10 to 4. American Legion, 94, Babylon, New York, 22 Grove Street. Plenty of free parking. Kids under 12 free. It's only $5 to get in. Couple great artists, lots of great comic books. If you like a comic book show, come through, hang out, have a good time. It'll be great. You'll love it. You won't. You will not. You will not be sad that you came through. And since folks aren't coming in, we're just gonna dive into the shit. I waited long enough. It's been 15 minutes almost. So let's just talk about it. Let's just. So we'll get the article up. No, the article. We're gonna read the article from Bleeding Cool, and we'll get into it. And then after we read the article from Bleeding Cool, we're gonna dive right into what Carrie Randolph said about everything. And then I actually need to get into that a little bit. I need to find that page first too. I actually invited Carrie Randolph to be on the show. He messaged me back. He's traveling right now, so he couldn't be here. But he thanked me for the invitation, which was really cool. I really, honestly, I'll be honest with you, I don't anticipate replies back. So getting a reply back from him was super cool. And I appreciate it. Excuse me. So let's get into this. First off, can we get rid of this ad? Can I? Oh, God. I just want to get rid of the ads. Okay, I guess I can. So, NFL quarterback Colin Kaepernick raises $4 million to create AI comics. Stealing art. Colin Kaepernick, former NFL cornerback, has raised $4 million in investments for Lumi, a new AI-based platform for publishing comics. Lumi empowers creators with tools to independently create, publish, and merchandise digital, physical comics. Venture capital firms and notable angel investors back Lumi, highlighting its potential to democratize storytelling. So he's basically saying that we're gatekeeping comics, that because we're the ones that make comics and don't let everybody in, not everybody can make the comic. Let's set this aside. And I'm most of the time I'm on the outside looking in when it comes to making comics, and this is also untrue. First off, I'm not the best artist. I'm not a good writer at all. So that's why I'm not in professional comics, Marvel, DC, Image, stuff like that. However, it's not being gatekept because you can make your own comics. You can go and crowdfund through Kickstarter, Indiegogo, Fund My Comic, whatever. You can get on and make your own comics. And you can get published. You can even go on Webtoons. You can self-publish. You can make your own comics. So this, just as a concept, in my opinion, is bullshit and is wrong. Addressing industry barriers, Lumi arms to provide financial stability and creative control for comic book creators. They already have that. If they were to just make their own comics, you can do it. Uh, 776 led the seed round alongside Kapoor Capital and Implement Ventures. Angel investors Mariam Nafisi, founder of Minted, David S.Z., millionaire, of course, and tech execs from Meta, Anthropic, Contextual AI, Sleeper Pave, and more. God. Lumi is intended to empower comic book creators by providing them, nobody's here, by providing them with the tools needed to independently create, publish, and merchandise their story both digitally and physically, and that the company plans to focus on energy and comic book graphic novel creators first, a market with the need for multiple creative skill sets. That's true. And that Lumi is on a mission to democratize, Jesus, why can't I say that? Democratize storytelling by providing creators the tools to independently create, publish, and merchandise their stories, and that Lumi leverages advanced AI technology to enhance creative process to ensure diverse and authentic stories shape our future. That's a lot. That's a lot. Um, let's talk about that for a second. Um, yeah, let's talk about that for a second. AI takes stuff, takes art, takes words, takes stuff from all over the internet and makes it different. Steals. There's no passion, there's no energy, there's no love in it. Even if one person's sitting there prompting the shit out of it, there's no love there. There's just not. When a person puts pencil to paper, either draws, writes, whatever, their own story, and can create their own story, even if it's digital, that's fine. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Most is digital. I work both. Um, it creates a new passionate project that's completely their own. They're completely their own IP, completely their own. Or even if they do a parody piece, it's completely their own, right? This is them trying to tell us that comic book creators are keeping everyone out and saving it for themselves. First off, nobody in comic books is getting rich. This $4 million is crazy. First off. Secondly, no one is keeping anyone out of comics. You can build an indie comic. You have seen the people I've had on my show. You have seen the friends that we have. You've seen the people that we talk with. They can create their own comics and fund them on, like I said, crowdfunding platforms or self-publish, or put them for free on Webtoons or Patreon. It's completely possible. You can put it on YouTube if you really wanted to. There's no need for this. You can still create and own and have your own thing and not do this, whatever this is, you know? It's very scary. It's just weird. I don't like it, obviously. I don't like it. Let's get back to the article. Lumi's mission to democratize storytelling for creators, transforming any creator into Disney by leveraging advanced AI tools. Lumi enhances the creative process, allowing creators to focus on bringing inner stories to life while the platform handles all of the logistics. Creators have had a significant impact on AI, and they should be a primary beneficiary of its use. You can see what this is going. Yeah, here you go. You can see where this is going, can't you? Type in a few words and get a comic book. It's absolutely bleeding cool. Who is the author here of the article? Rich Johnson. Rich Johnson nails it right on the head. I'm not gonna. Lumi was founded out of the barriers that Kaepernick discovered publishing his own works. This included high production costs, long production timelines, and gatekeeping within the industry. These challenges generate significant friction for creators, preventing major production from getting on the ground. No, it prevents basically lazy people. It prevents people who don't have a work ethic. It prevents people who don't want to, spend the time that you need to spend to create something good. Now, your definition of good might be different than my definition of good, and that's fine. But you can still create your own things if you're willing to put the time into it. Forget good or bad. You can still put those things out there. According to Kaepernick, Luke addresses an unnecessary dependency on gatekeepers that slows creators down. No, he's talking about Marvel and DC. Why you can't break into Marvel and DC? It's what the indies are for, bro. It's what the indies are for. It says the platform empowers creators to work freely and independently, deciding when and how they want to collaborate with others. Indie comics, you don't need AI. This independence, right there, this independence is crucial for fostering a vibrant and diverse creative ecosystem. Indie comics. Now, this is where I'm going to make my own little op-ed here and stick in my own thing. He's saying gatekeeping. I think we have an idea of what he's talking about there, or who he's talking about there. Just saying. I'll leave that there. And then a diverse system, create a diverse system. He could absolutely be talking, and I understand this. The comic book drama that's always on YouTube. Instead of making books, people would rather just eviscerate each other. And I feel that it's getting old, and I'm tired of watching it and experiencing it, being on streams with it. Excuse me, I have to hydrate. So if that's, I mean, he didn't elaborate on that. I'm sticking in my own 2 cents in regards to that. And if that's the case, then yeah, I can buy that for $1. I really can. So, I get it. I get what's going on there. But it's not enough to want to use AI and cheat the system. So we're going to get rid of this for now. And we're going to go to, first we're going to go to Colin Kaepernick's Twitter. And then we're going to go to Carrie Randolph's. Now, really quickly, I'm going to go back to that image and what Colin Kaepernick did as a football player taking a knee and things like that. Colin Kaepernick taking a knee, and I'm going to describe a person, a post that I saw, but I'm not going to name that person because I'm not that guy. So let's just call them Professor Dickhead. Professor Dickhead posted about this and then made a joke that said, "Oh, I guess he's taking a knee for comics." Listen, Professor Dickhead, douchebag. Colin's taking a knee and doing this are two completely different things. They have nothing to do with each other. What he did, sacrificing his career to shed a spotlight on what is going on with police brutality to minorities, really did help. This is different than that. This is a different thing. Making a joke about him taking a knee shows exactly how small a person can be and is at the very least tone deaf. It's just at the very least tone deaf. I don't want to stretch and say some words that aren't properly descriptive for you, but it's a douchey move. It's a tone deaf move. And I'm not offended. It's not that anybody's offended. You can say what you want. It's okay. No one's offended, but it's completely just inappropriate. It just doesn't need. That's just a scummy thing to say. Him taking a knee has nothing to do with this. This has nothing to do with him taking a knee. Let's grow up a little bit. Now we go back to the Twitter. He's already got his Kaepernick publishing up there. The link for Lumi Story AI is already there. He has gone all in. He has gone absolutely all in. He's got the Lumi logo up there already. Yeah, we got the storytelling about seeds. Got some videos going. I'm not going to click any of these links and use my platform to help his platform. You can go there if you want. It's not hard to find. The stories are coming up right now. I'm missing so many perspectives. Comic books, man. Comic books don't need AI to tell these perspectives. They're already doing it, but he just wanted to skip. Well, first off, I think he just wanted to make money. And secondly, anybody who's going to use AI to comics is just trying to skip it. Some people are in it, but it's the usual people. And really jumping on Lumi. It's really the same kind of. Creators also own all the work that they create, says Lumi CEO and founder Colin Kaepernick. Okay, here's the thing. You don't own AI stuff. You can't copyright AI stuff. You can't. And now if you create it with the engine, and the artificial intelligence to create a thing, you might be able to you know, copyright. Maybe I got to look into it. I don't know. Maybe that property, but if that property was based on stuff that's not owned by them, which is what AI takes from, unless it's taking from a sea of artists that have signed off on that, it's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. Again, the fast facts there. AI tools. It's what AI is, and AI isn't designed. Well, it is designed, obviously, but it's not for this. What you're doing is you're gatekeeping from the creative process. These aren't creators. So why would creators join them? Creative freedom, ownership of the stories. They already have both those things. Merch for their stories, publishing, assistance to story creation, faster creation times. All of those things come from independent comics. So you're absolutely insane. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick minute. And we're going to bring on our buddy who's just at a show today, just back. Lunchbox Warren, hello, sir.
Hello, sir.
Oh, I guess I should put on my headphones now before we echo. How are you, sir? How was your event today?
Oh, the event went good. It was a little slow, but there was the town's biggest garage sale and also 2 massive car shows going on the same day. So they didn't get as much traffic as they did last year. But being a first show, I had fun, sold some stuff, and I got to network, and I already got another show lined up for November because of
and there it is.
There.
Touchdown.
So, yeah, it was a good day. It was a good day.
Good. I'm very glad to hear it. Had fun, made money a little bit.
Yeah, I made more. I made my table and plus some. So
good.
It was good. Table was only $40, but I think I cleared over 100 today. So
that's a beautiful thing. That's an absolute
the squirrel comic was going nuts.
See, we got to talk more about that at some point. We got to get
people love
squirrel.
That
47 Furious Tales? No, different comic. different comic completely. Have you been watching? Have you been up to date on what's going on? What we're talking, the topic of discussion?
A little bit. AI makes my head hurt, and so does Colin Kaepernick.
Well, it looks like he went ahead. Well, first things first. Let's do this. Because I did full transparency, and I don't know that you've ever seen it. And just so I can, again, transfer, this was the piece I did right after him when he was still with the 49ers, taking the knee and stuff like that.
That's a nice piece.
Thank you. And it doesn't really give my opinion. I want my goal for doing the piece is to, keep the conversation going.
Yeah.
And I think it did that.
Yeah.
Now, the reason why thank you. Now, the reason why I did this too and say this comes up because, again, we've seen a lot of people talking about it. And I called this person, and you'll know who I'm talking about probably because we've had discussions about this. But Professor Professor Dickhead was, saying, oh, Kaepernick using AIs. I guess he's taking a knee on comics. No, don't be tone deaf. Stop that. And don't do that. You're an educator. You should be better than that. Yeah.
Completely different things. You can argue on how, like, if you wanted to, you can get in the weeds of arguing on how actually dedicated he is to the causes that he expels, but at the same time, he did take a stand and he did it for the right reasons. So I wouldn't. It's completely different than creating a bullshit AI comic company. So,
Well, see, we got into kind of the nitty gritty with it a little bit. Let me go back to his Twitter. The Bleeding Cool article was good, and it turned into a bit of an op-ed, which is great. Good for them having an opinion about it. But his Twitter really really shows what's happening here. It seems, and this is opinion based totally on what I've read, but nothing factual that said that this is what it is. When you see Kaepernick publishing there, it leads me to believe that he was looking for to raise some money to create this technology, to work with this technology, to find a faster way to create things. And then because all the rage is comic books, right now Ronda Rousey has a comic book. This one has a comic book. The other one has a comic book. Okay, let's make a comic book. But wow, I gotta hire an artist. I gotta get the story. I gotta get this. I gotta get that. Why can't I just use Chat GP? Wait a minute. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we flowed. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm just saying he's a businessman.
Yes.
And he's constantly monetizing everything that he does. And comics is a really fast way for someone with a 10,000 or plus fan base to make $1 million.
Right. Now
and
his
you know,
keep going, I'm sorry.
as long as you have a monetized fan base that'll buy your whatever you put out, you can make 6 to 7 figures. It doesn't even have to be good product. You just have to have people willing to buy it. And go ahead.
He doubled down. He doubled down and created an AI company and got angel investors and other investors to invest in this company to help other people create things with AI,
which they can't own because you can't own AI art. So
keep a hold on that. Keep a hold on that, right? Okay, so bring your stories to life. It's a publishing thing. Lumi, right? Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to go into this. We're not going to do this because that's kind of a little bit. But here we go. The people celebrating him. Okay, these guys, app designers, you know, hedge fund people, things like that, celebrating him on these things, right? But here's the kicker. There's this article, this interview. We're not going to play the interview, but there's a piece that's going to come up that we're going to see that's really going to remember, it's backed by Reddit co-founder Alexis. I can't pronounce his last name. That says it all right there, right? I mean, first off, there's no stopping this AI stuff. There's just not. But no, I think it's very important. It's very important.
And also the gatekeeping. So we looked at.
Well, that's the we're reversing through because he does. Here we go.
To be able to do.
Provides AI tools for creators to produce, distribute work. Okay, fine. You can do that within indie comics. You can do that. You can create your own stuff and network and things like that because that's what you and I do. You raised $4 million in funding. Sure, I can't do that. Can you?
No, not even close.
Okay, it's I get it. And then the investors that include. Now, the next thing
that at scale. Okay, and I think that's really important. And the last thing there is all of the work, so they no longer have to create for somebody. Freedom to create minutes.
Well, the idea of him standing in here is they're trying to.
As we looked at it,
they're saying that you can create this whole new thing that you own. What did you say a second ago about owning AI art?
You can't own AI art.
Plus,
so I think there's also another thing that is coming up in this that I don't really like at all. But yeah, go ahead.
Well, there's a whole, that's it. If you don't AI, I mean, could it be that maybe creating an IP with AI you can create it, but you can't create something and own it if it's based on stolen artwork, right? So there's a problem there, but his basis, and we just reviewed it, but I'll review it very quickly with you. His base, and then that's kind of everything that's going on in here, so we can get rid of this. His base with this is he wanted to keep people from the gatekeeping. The comic book creators are gatekeeping comics and keeping people away from making comics. He's talking about Marvel and DC probably, right? So he wanted to give somebody an opportunity. If you wanted to tell your own stories and make your own comics, here's a way to do it. Bro, it's called indie comics. It's what Warren does. Well, sorry, it's what Warren does. You make your own comics. You can, you need to get the money. You don't have the money to do that. That's why we crowdfund. It takes, now a lot of the things, this is where I think it gets a little lazy because they want the instant gratification. It takes too long. The process is too hard. Well, that's just lazy. And if you're calling that gatekeeping, I think, you tell me what you think of this. If you're saying that it's too lazy and that anybody should do it, no. It's not that comics are keeping people out. It's that they're making it difficult so you can not just earn your way in, which is a little bit of it, but so that you can do the work so you can put out something that's good. And I know good is subjective. What's good to me isn't good to other people, but that's okay. you can still put it out. Like, I know my stuff isn't the greatest. I self-publish it. I'll probably crowdfund, but I know I'm not going to, make $4 million, but no one's stopping me.
Well, I don't care how good his app is. Let's say he creates an app that creates artwork, and let's say it draws from a pool of already signed artists who they pay, and then this is the pool of art it draws from. So then they're able to say, this is no longer now you can copyright this artwork. All of this, everything he is doing, is not going to help you be successful in comic books. You have to not only make the book, but then you have to sell the book. You're selling a needle in a gigantic stack or field of needles. It's not going to help you get seen. It's not going to help you to get your book out. It's not going to help you market it. It's essentially one of those. Reminds me a lot of what like the Wheelers were doing with indie crowdfund or other people that we know in the industry, where they'll come to you and say, I want to help you get your comic book out there. This is the platform to use. When actuality, the platform has absolutely nothing to do with getting you seen. Like Global Comics is not going to get you seen. Putting your feet to the ground, social media, marketing, pushing, working your ass off, traveling a mile and only going about a step in distance is what gets you seen in comics. And even if you do all of that right, even if you have a good product, you might not get seen because the meta's not there. You're not speaking to the right audience. I mean, there's a million factors in there. I really don't like anything about what Kaepernick's doing with this. I don't like the language he's using. I don't want to think that I'm a gatekeeper because I spend thousands of fucking hours drawing and working and perfecting my craft. So just because someone doesn't want to have that dedication, now all of a sudden I'm a gatekeeper. It's just the whole thing.
There's a word there too, because in the Bleeding Cool article, there was it says the quote was a little elongated, where it was from gatekeepers and all the other things that are keeping people out of doing comics. You mentioned some names there, which I'm not. Yeah. You're going to mention some names there that I'm not going to repeat because I just don't want to invoke that. But, and I'm not going to. I'm going to dance around a little bit, but I'm going to say it without saying it. He said gatekeepers. That kind of leads me to think about a certain group, and then keeping people the other things that keep people away from indie comics or doing that on their own, and that leads me to leave the YouTube indie comic book drama. Now This is where I kind of you see all that stuff that we just kind of alluded to. And if you're, I want to make a comic, you go on YouTube, because YouTube is where you go to learn how to do something, right? These days. And you see all these shows and all these people doing, all this stupid shit. And and not making comics, not talking about comics, right? It kind of might dissuade you. It kind of might feel like you're being, this is what it is. This isn't. Then he says that we're trying to build a comic, a community. Okay, look, I get it that something like that might scare someone away, but that doesn't mean that you completely circumvent that by using AI and just creating your own thing and getting it going. You circumvent that by, sorry, bro, I'm going to use you as an example. You circumvent that by doing what you do. You bust your ass. You get it done, and you put it out there in spite of all the drama and all the bullshit and all the other things. And, I can't tell you how many rejection letters I have from the big companies. I can't tell you how many times people like Keith Williams or Neil Adams or a couple others have told me what I needed to do to get better, to try to get into comics. That's not gatekeeping. That's making you get better, because there's a certain level,
Yeah.
So.
And I would argue, too, it's like you could look over YouTube. You could put comic books or how-to comic books into YouTube. Good luck finding anything worth a while I mean, you can find out about some stuff about a little bit about marketing. You can find stuff about maybe about shipping, maybe about Kickstarters. But when it comes to the tooth and nails about making comics, the best teacher on the planet is making comics. Just get out there and make shit. And you'll make enough shit. Eventually, that shit becomes something worthwhile because you're constantly putting the time in. I just don't like all of this. I don't want to say coded language because I don't want to get into the weeds. But the problem with Kaepernick is he can't do anything without bringing social justice and race into it. And he's already starting to do this with it when he's pronouncing it's like we need to have an AI program that steals artwork because underserved communities need to be able to create comics. It's like, well, no.
He's not pushing underserved communities. He's saying right now not right now. He's not. Maybe later, who knows? But right now, what it's saying is for everyone, if you don't want to have to work thousands of hours, if you don't want to have to keep getting said no to, if you don't want to have to spend thousands of dollars.
Sorry, I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Sorry.
If you don't have to do all these things, this is what you're going to use to create those things. And that's, what he's trying to say. And could that move down a different road? Maybe. I'm not really. Anybody who's watched me online knows that I'm not I'm not going to take a political side about anything. I really don't care, and I'm not going to try to infer that into this. I know Mr. Kaepernick does do that, but right now he's not with this. Will he? Maybe. Won't he? Maybe. I don't know. But I guess we shall see, right? We shall see. And then again, that's not gonna good. Is that gonna come up? We'll put the piece back up again because I'm going to.
Sorry about that.
Sorry. So what I was saying is I'm not a political guy. I know Kaepernick does, skew in directions. He hasn't done that. This has been pretty straight down the line, trying to do a thing for everybody. Because this is the opening of it. Will it skew in a direction? Who knows? Maybe, probably. I don't know. I'm not gonna sit here and say or make an opinion on something that I really have no evidence to say that that's what he's gonna do. You know what I mean?
You're right too.
Right now, he's doing this for everybody. For everybody, he says. But this is for me. I'm reading between the lines. I'm not saying that this is for a person on one side or the other side. I'm saying this is for a person who wants to make a comic book that's lazy or that's bad at writing or bad at drawing and can do this. So maybe I should make my comic book with
it. Well, and we've seen this on Kickstarter. You throw, sexy boobs and make essentially a porn book with AI, you could probably clear five digits, without even much promotion, which is, disheartening for people like you and me who actually work at this stuff. But I mean,
that's
the market's there for it, and he'll get people behind him just because of who he is. And the fact that the Reddit CEO is backing it makes me wonder, is Reddit harvesting art on Reddit in order for their AI system to use? Like, is there going to be small print in the Reddit contract now that says if you post your art on Reddit, it's going to be used by an AI? Does anyone ask that question yet? I want to know, like, where is it getting its art from? Is, how is it that he's able to say you own what you create when legally you can't own AI art? So it's like, does he not know, or does he know something that we don't? Or is there more to this as it comes out? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm never going to use it, but
I think there's going to be more as it comes out. I think they're probably going to, if he's saying that they're going to own your stuff, I have a funny feeling they're coming from a pool. They might have a pool of a source pool for all their stuff. So it's not just taking off the internet. At least I hope that they do. Not that that's going to make it better, but at least,
it's either a source pool or he's stating that our company doesn't own any rights to anything that you create without really knowing the knowledge of, well, technically no one can copyright AI art yet, but I think that's going to change in the next 4 years. So, who knows on that?
Well, we're going to jump to this because this is interesting.
Yeah.
An artist I represent. I represent him. No, I respect and like a lot. Carrie Randolph does a lot of things. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man, a bunch of stuff. He made a post, and it's very important. I wanted to thank him again. I shot him a message earlier this morning, letting him know that we were going to be talking about this, letting him know that I was going to use this post to talk about because I agreed with him like wholeheartedly, and I appreciate him writing this down. And that if he wanted to come on or chime in or anything, he was more than welcome. I tossed him the links and stuff like that. He actually responded back and was like, "Oh, that's great. Thank you. I appreciate it." But he's traveling right now and really can't, So thank you, Mr. Randolph. I appreciate that. And I'm going to read this because I think this is the best way to do it. To be clear, this is from Carrie Randolph. Artist, inker, just amazing comic book person. To be clear, I was one of a number of artists that had meetings with Colin a few months ago. He told me broadly what his AI platform was about. He mentioned that it was about removing gatekeepers and how he wanted to benefit people from underserved walks of life. I told him that while I was a fan of his, I couldn't support this because those gatekeepers were people like me who had put our blood, sweat, and tears into our craft. Hard work, a pencil, a paper, and is all you need to make comics. That's written wrong. I let him that his product was going to hurt us long term. I let him know that his product was going to hurt us long term. So if anyone is asking whether Colin Kaepernick is aware of the misgivings artists have with AI, please believe he has been made aware. And I know for a fact that I'm not the only one who did so. Kaepernick knows that this is one of the big things that comic companies or comic people or anyone who makes comics, most people that read comics hopefully don't want to happen. He's still doing it. Again, I'm not going to put words into I'm just thinking, in my opinion, when he says the people who are underserved, I think he's trying to direct that. He's trying to sell that to indie comic creators. But what he's really selling it to are the indie comic creators that aren't moving at all. The people that don't fund on crowdfunding, the people who don't, you know what I mean? The people who aren't making it, who even in indie comic, even in the smallest corners of indie comics aren't making it. Well, now you can make it too by using AI. And that's going to attract people. It is. There's going to be the little guy who hasn't, who's tried to jump on a Kickstarter, can't even get approved, or can't get an artist to do his thing, or can't this, can't that. Well, now I could, and it's taking me forever. I've been trying to do this comic for 5 years. Just can't do it. And he feels like it's being gate-kept. He or she feels, whatever. And now, oh my God, Colin Kaepernick has an AI thing where I can make my own comic book. Well, there it is. And I think that's a problem.
Well, he's selling snake oil because even if the program's awesome, it's not going to make you a better artist or writer. And it's the technology's not there yet to do interior pages that are worth a darn. So
we shall see, it looks like. Just so everybody can get kind of an idea of what Carrie Randolph does.
Yeah, amazing. Wow.
The guy's a G. He really is.
Yeah.
He really, really is. So thank you, Carrie Randolph. First off, thank you, Carrie Randolph, for stepping up and saying this, speaking out quickly and giving your side of what you experienced. Thank you for posting about it and letting us know, because that kind of that gives us the weapon we need to. There's no fighting this. I'm not fighting $4 million. I'm not. I can't. there's no way I can. But we'll keep going like your no AI sticker. We can keep fighting that, and we can keep doing the good fight and making our stuff. I mean, we're not. None of us, even if we all banded together, which you all know that it would be easier to herd drunk cats than fucking get the comic industry united together on the front about anything.
That's so true.
I mean, just in our own little group, we can't get everybody to agree on, I don't even think we could all agree on pizza. So
you're absolutely right. If we were all in the same room and they were like, we need to order lunch, we would end up fist fighting before it was over.
People would die of starvation before any food would arrive. People say, "Oh, is the comic industry like Lord of the Flies?" I'm like, no, they got more done on Lord of the Flies. Okay.
What's going to happen is he's using the people that you're talking about, the ones that feel like they're being kept out of the club, people who don't get noticed, people who can't afford to pay even the cheapest artist to do a full book, people who can't write or don't want to take the time to learn how to write. I don't want to say you can't write, because writing is just learning, drawing is just learning. But he's targeting them, and it's like most likely what's going to be probably some kind of subscription service, or if it's free, it's going to be like, use this program and it'll do everything for you. It'll put the book together, it'll do the lettering, it will do all of this, and then afterwards you have a product to send off to the printers, and then maybe even eventually it might actually handle that part of it too. I'm not sure, but it's selling snake oil. It's like coming out with a how-to book and saying this is going to make you famous. This is the key to get past all those gatekeeping whatever clubs, when all actuality, I've been doing this since 2016, and there is no club. There's barely what you would call a community. No one really cares about your stuff aside from you and maybe some good friends you meet on the way, like you and me. We care about each other's stuff, but that's just because we've grown together and we know each other. You're not going to see, but it's not going to be, but it's just, it's not, there's nothing that program can do to make this stuff any easier, especially when you get to the part where you have to sell the damn thing. Good luck. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a little tired, so I don't want to get too negative. But yeah, it just disgusts me. It's like all these people putting in work, and it's like, oh hey, it's not your fault. It's some evil gatekeeper, and you just use my program, and now you'll become a star.
First off, I apologize if I blanked out there, folks. There isn't a massive electrical storm where I am, and it's winding down, but it's still out there. So my Wi-Fi's was a little wonky. Sorry. But yeah, Warren, absolutely. Look, the indie community. It's factual that the indie community is really the worst possible Mean Girls cafeteria, high school cafeteria. It's just clicks everywhere. Yeah. It's just horrible. We found a pretty solid group, a small group. I think the thing is, people have learned that if you keep your circle really small, you'll be okay. So that's what we've done. We've kept our circle really small, but you end up working with different people, and you try to work with different people, and it's just, look, it's there. If people work together, it happens. For the most part, it's okay, but there really are some subdivisions that get weird, and then you mix in all the other minutia of politics, social media, social this, the other thing, and the fact that we spent 2 years inside and people aren't used to seeing each other face to face anymore, and they've gotten pretty brave behind the keyboard. So, I wanted to throw this out there. This was my invitation to Carrie Randolph. I thought this was cool. we were talking about the negative. I want to show the positive. I sent them a message telling them hello, I'm a big fan. Told them that we were doing the stream. Sent them the link. And where the hell did? Appreciate the invite, but I'm traveling all day. Have a great stream. That's just respect, man. I appreciate that. He had no need, no reason to respond to me at all, but he did, and that's really cool. And that those are the small things that I take from not just being a comic fan, right? But yeah, I do some comic book stuff, and it's just I'm an artist, so yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah. So Colin
Well, that's
Kaepernick,
very cool of him to be able to answer back like that. He didn't have to take the time to even do that. He could have just been
No.
like, I'm Carrie. I don't, I'm drawing turtles. Who the hell are you? Kind of thing.
Yeah, and look, and I'll be straight with you. Some other people that I sent messages did blow me off, and that's fine. I mean, I get it. And plus, like let's say, okay, first off, somebody blows me off. Who is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Okay, cool. But then, okay, go. Well, let's see, what his numbers are. Yep, nope, not going there. So whatever. But still, we're talking about something. I mean, we had this idea last night. We were just bullshitting. Warren and I and our buddy Phil. Shout out to Phil Leon and his cat. Mine is in his body. Okay. Mine has. My dad used to go that he's. My dad used to say that the cat has more bases in the house than the United States does all over the world. He's like,
yeah.
So he's in one of his spots right now. He had found it. I was going to throw it out, but he had found an Amazon box. That's just the right size for him to completely fill it. And now he's just an orange loaf snoring in a box. But what the fuck was I saying? God, marijuana.
I'm so sober right now too.
I'm not. It's great. It's just I got home from work. I was so tired. I was so much pain. My back is killing me. I still have to finish 3 little paintings. They're not big paintings, and they're not going to be hard. I still have to go finish them. And then after the show, when I come back tomorrow, I have to go back to it and just start finishing New York Comic Con paintings. So it's like,
yeah, I still got to unpack all my stuff, but it was a good day. I learned a lot about what I need to get business cards. I need to get a little bit better on. I have a wheeled suitcase, the one that kind of recommended on your Amazon. But I need to get something better to carry more of the art and stuff in. So I need to get like one of those wheeled toolbox kind of cases.
I've used it now for you can use the suitcase. First off, you can use the suitcase. Getting the totes, I'll show you. I'll take pictures of myself for tomorrow. I have a big hand truck for big shows, and I have a little hand truck for little shows where I could put a tote together. But for carrying the prints, depending on the size of the prints, like I travel with 8.5 by 11s. I have a hard shelled filing folder, one of those folding accordion folders.
Yeah, nice, yeah.
And everything fits in there nice and easy. It fits in the tote. I shove all my shit in the tote, put it on the wheeler, a couple fucking bungee cords, we're off. So, but again, we wanted to do this really fast. We're talking about shows, so we might as well. That's tomorrow's festivities.
Oh, awesome.
Me and some art. Keith Williams will be there. A couple other folks will be there. It's a comic book show. It's an old school comic book show. Lots of fun. Lots of good times. It should be entertaining as hell. If you're in the area, come on through. Well, and then in 2 weeks, it's this Fat Guy Inc. There's so many cool voice actors from Ed, Edd n Eddy, My Hero, Dragon Ball Z. He got a really good group of voice actors together and a really great group of cosplayers. This is going to be a fun show. If you're in the area, I'd recommend it. Like just even in the tri-state area, make a day. Make a weekend, come down. That's going to be a lot of fun. And I guess I have to talk about it. This is what I'm doing for the rest of my life until October. I'm just making stuff for this monster horror show that's going to be. I mean, I love this show so much, but I've never been more scared of a thing. Like, I know we're on a different And I'm not saying this to be anything other than just Warren. What show is this for you? Like, how many shows have you done?
One.
Okay. Perfect. I'm glad you said it like this. This will be our 10th year on the main floor of New York Comic Con. That's a huge set, huh?
That is amazing, by the way.
Thank you.
You should pat yourself on the back.
This is a huge I know it's a huge thing. And people say, oh, wow, my God, blah, blah, blah. You know, two of my bosses are comic book guys, and they're like, oh, that's really cool. But, you know, this, that, the other thing. And I'm like, yeah. So how do you know, Howard thing? I'm like, I'm scared shitless. I'm absolutely scared shitless. It is a daunting thing. The 10-year thing, cool. The fact that we have this monster huge 10 by 20 by 10 end cap is scary as hell. The stack of paintings that's behind me that need to get done, scary as hell. Just doing the math on the stuff that I have to, the supplies and the prints and this, that, the other thing that I have to get is scary as hell. But I think this, and I'm going to tell you why I'm talking about it like this. I'm not just shilling for myself here, but I'm going to tie this back to the Kaepernick thing. I didn't get here by telling a computer what I needed and then just getting it and being done.
Yeah.
You got to your show today and the shows that you're doing in the future. I got to this horror show and other stuff. You did Sig and Joe. I'm doing my books and the other books that you're doing and stuff like this by busting our asses, by doing the actual work, because that's what you need to do to get someplace. And maybe it is a values thing where people don't want to work, or God, I'm going to sound like my father, and that's okay, but I'm going to sound like such an old man. Maybe it is the Zoomers, the Gen Zs that don't want to, that just want the instant gratification. Maybe it is society with its basis on, technology can make things easier. And yes, I understand technology is designed to make things easier, but hard work should never be omitted. Hard work isn't gatekeeping. It's not.
No.
It's absolutely not. I think that's the theme. I think I finally found the name. You know how there's a saying or there's a phrase in every episode of The Sopranos that's the title of the show, right?
Yeah.
I think I found what the title of this show is. The title of this show is Hard Work Isn't Gatekeeping. Okay? You're not being kept out of something because you have to work hard. Okay? Like if that were true, then everybody could be in the NFL.
Yeah.
Okay? Let me tell you something, folks. I'm 6'1", 320, and I would get housed by guys in the NFL. I don't belong in the NFL. Could I have worked my ass off and gotten there? Maybe. But if you really think about it, on the final roster of every NFL team, there's 53 guys. There's only 32 NFL teams. So imagine that's the percentage of people that are good enough to get into the NFL. Out of all the Olympians that are there, what percentage of that is of the population? Think about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's hard. That's hard. And they got there by working their asses off. They got there by hard work. Okay? They got that. Simone Biles did not get there because, she typed something into a computer. Somebody told her, well, you're going to have to work your life off. Your entire life and soul, you're going to have to work off. Okay, cool. And she did it. Is it Michelle Ledecky? I don't remember her first name. I should because her dad owns my hockey team. But Ledecky, the most gold medals in swimming, most gold medals by an American woman ever. Not because, her dad's rich and he bought them for her. Nope. She busted her ass and worked it out. The dude from Turkey, the fucking Turkish John Wick, with one hand in his pocket, and I swear to God he had a pack of cigarettes in the other pocket, pointing the fucking gun and winning a silver medal for Turkey in the Olympics without even trying. Meanwhile, other guys had they looked like Call of Duty on steroids, and he beat all of them except for one. Bro, that guy got there because of hard work in his life. Hard work gets you there.
He may have looked like he just walked out of the stands and gave it a shot, but no, he actually.
Holy shit! Holy shit! We need somebody to shoot at the Olympics. Bob,
seat number B25. Please take your gun.
Did you used to shoot? Okay. It's like it's somebody's dad.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's like his kid was on the team. His kid got sick, and then we're gonna jump on Twitch for a second here. Hold on. His kid got sick. He's like, "Oh, my kid's I'll just do it. I'll bang, bang, bang. What's this? Silver. Cool, nice. You know, like what the actual fuck." But oh my god, I love it. I'm so happy right now.
Hey,
It's not Russian porn bot, but it is a bot in our Twitch stream. I'm so happy right now. I look. I don't know if I'm the only person who likes it when bots come into your channel, come into your show. But I absolutely love it when bots come into my show, and we have one right now. I'm the Leon. Appreciate you, man, or woman, or whatever the fuck you are, for trying to get me cheap viewers. I appreciate that. Hey, look, and this is what, not only because it's a bot, but I appreciate anybody that's trying to get me viewers. Like, thank you, man. Thank you for helping me try to get viewers. That means a lot to me because I don't have any, and you're helping me out, so that means a lot to me. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you. We will not blow. Here you go. If anybody wants a virus or some cheap viewers, or if you have good malware, there you go. Click on the link for cheap viewers. But
there is one thing I wanted to add on to your hard work deal, and it's something that people don't realize, and it happens in the sports, and it happens in comics, movies, music, whatever. Working hard is a necessary factor, but it does not mean you will be successful. You can work hard and practice every day to be a NFL quarterback all through grade school, middle school, high school, and go into college and never make the draft, never make a team, never play a professional pass in your entire life. Hard work has to be there to get to that point, but it does not guarantee a victory. And taking the hard work out and having a robot do it means that you're almost setting yourself up for failure before you even start. You know, you can have a robot throwing machine out there to play quarterback, but it's not going to win you a Super Bowl. It's not going to be able to start. It's not going to be able to run options. It's just throws the ball with a wheel and a motor. It's essentially the same thing as with this AI program. You can make the comic all you want, but if you don't have the hard work, the dedication, and the talent, you're not even going to get onto the stage in order to be the chance to be up there. Like, you and me can work our entire lives and we'll never be more than just a small little circle, and we'll still have to work day jobs, and we'll still have to do all this stuff. So the hard work is an essential part. But the hardest lessons you have to learn when you're doing this stuff is the hard work does not guarantee you shit. It does not guarantee you a look at the table. It does not guarantee that people are going to like your stuff. It doesn't guarantee that you're going to be able to live off this stuff. You can work hard all you want and practice, but that does not guarantee it. There's also other elements. There has to be an it factor. There has to be luck. There has to be a lot of other things. And that's one of the problems with what he's selling, is that there's no easy way to make this stuff work.
That's what kind of bothers me. That kind of bothers me a little bit of it, because Colin Kaepernick worked his whole life as an athlete to get to where he was, and I think his pinnacle was quarterbacking a Super Bowl. So he knows exactly that hard work isn't gatekeeping. He knows exactly that he got to be one of those 53 men out of 32 teams. He got there. And like I said, I forget the fact that he sacrificed it for a cause, but still he got there. So he knows what hard work can do for you. And he's kind of saying, fuck it, it's not important.
Yeah. Right? I got to knock on the door. I'll be right back.
Okay, well, that's perfect, because I'm going to bring this guy in now. My buddy Angel, son of a saint, another incredible artist. Warren's got to knock on the door. He'll come back. We kind of said everything, man. We talked about, I don't know what you know about the Colin Kaepernick AI thing, so we'll do a quick review if you don't.
I have no clue, man. I
Okay,
I know you and I kind of briefly spoke on it, but like not in
he's
depth like that.
he's gotten investors together to create a company that will create that a production company that will create with AI publishing stuff like comic books. Okay,
Right.
and his idea behind it is that uh, for creative people, they're being gate kept from being able to make their own things by the industries. So this will help, and the financial burden of it and the hard work and time that it takes to create something is being gate kept from them, and that this will allow anybody to be able to make a book. And we basically shut that down by creating the theme of the night that hard work isn't gatekeeping. It's not. You bust your ass to get. You bust your ass. You work, and the idea. We had said, and a few other people agree that it's not. It's not gatekeeping. It's okay. Maybe Marvel and DC are rejecting you. Maybe it's that's tough, but that's because they want you to get better. Number one. Number two, the hard work should never. You got to work hard to get anywhere. Number one. Number two, you got to. It takes money to make these things. You're not getting rich making these things. And if you want quality,
This
you know,
this all sounds like participation trophies
yeah,
to me.
basically,
You
this is
you get a trophy for showing up. Like that's I dude, it first of all, I obviously I'm definitely a guy that's not a fan of AI. I've heard a lot of different arguments about it as far as AI. We're talking about AI itself. I just want to get it out the way that some artists feel like it could be used as a tool. Some artists, which I'm probably in that bracket, feel like it's theft. Um,
no, it is,
it,
it is.
yeah, yeah. I'm just devil's advocate, I guess, as best as I can, because I'm definitely on that side over there. But Kaepernick, I don't understand what his purpose really is. Like, if you really
Money.
like, I understand. Yeah, well, obviously money, yeah, but like, I understand that. Like, um, I can understand that. If you want to try to help artists that maybe are overlooked, artists that maybe have worked hard and they just get overlooked for whatever reason. Maybe they don't have the networking skills, maybe they don't have the resources to get to where they need to be, but they're still artists. That's something different. But to just have all this AI and just any Joe Schmo can just kind of jump the front of the line with no skills is kind of ridiculous.
Well, the other thing, I had also said, and we're not naming names or anything like that, but we're saying because he said gatekeepers very emphatically, gatekeepers, and he basically alluded to the indie comic drama on YouTube a little bit. Other things that keep people from doing this. Number one, I understand about the indie comic drama. I understand because that's would make me not want to be a part of it either. Kind of makes me not want to be a part of it. And I understand that there's certain groups that do gatekeep. It's kind of their thing, so I get it. He's talking about. I think he's alluding to a little bit vaguely, uh, indie comic book YouTube, which is just a horrible place, just a horrible, horrible place.
Yeah.
Um, so there's that. But this is him to make some money off people, which is he's monetizing everything, like Warren said before. He monetizes everything now. That's his business. This is now his venture. He's got backers, he's got angel backers, he's got the CEO, the former CEO of Reddit, a bunch of other
That's
people
crazy.
backing him for this, because it's a new technology thing. This is if you remember, I remember years ago, guys making apps was the thing, and then the Silicon Valley guys coding all that was the thing. This is the thing now, make an AI thing, and then okay, what's the purpose to make publishing things easier for people? This is also, and now think about it too. This is also well now I don't now he's calling book publishers gatekeepers, And I don't mean comics. I mean like, okay, George R. R. Martin has to write his Game of Thrones book and get it, through a publisher. Well, now you don't have to do that. Now I can just
I mean,
tell AI
that's
what
just.
my
I mean,
story is.
I don't really know. Full transparency. I haven't really looked into the story with Kaepernick and what he's doing
Well,
because
that's what that's we're telling you what he's doing.
it's
He's
yeah,
creating he's
it's
creating
one
a
of
publishing
those.
company. He's creating a publishing company so that people who feel like they it's too hard, it's not easy, it's too much money, it takes too much time. People keep telling me no. It's for people like that to use to create stories.
It's just ridiculous. My point is this. Kaepernick is that's that's gonna be a sinking ship. Like that's there's no way that's gonna
It's it,
you probably get a mile down the road, but you ain't gonna finish the trip. You get what I'm saying? Like
he's got
it's not.
$4 million right now. He's got all the buzz. He's got it. And then again, we're gonna go to this. And she just jumped in. We're gonna go back to this really fast. I don't know if you know who Carrie Randolph is. I invited him on the show. He graciously told me that he was traveling, couldn't make it. He's the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Spider-Man, Batman, bunch of stuff. Um, Kaepernick has been doing his research on this for months. So Carrie was one of many artists that spoke to him a few months ago, and he said that his AI platform was that it was about removing gatekeepers and how he wanted to benefit people. He wanted to benefit for people to benefit from underserved walks of life, basically broke people who didn't want to spend money to get into comic books. He told them that he was a fan. He couldn't support this because the gatekeepers that he was talking about were people like us who have put our hard work, blood, sweat, and tears into this craft. A pencil, paper, and hard work is all you need to make comics. And then he told Colin that his product was going to hurt people long term in this industry, us basically. And
Yeah.
so anybody asking what Kaepernick is doing or if he's aware of the misgivings artists have, how we feel about AI, he knows exactly what's going on. And a lot of people told him so. And he's still going with it because,
Yeah,
again, this isn't
that's
about this. This isn't about the art. This is about him making money. And he will make money. There will be, like you said, the kid who needs a participation award, you know.
that's a damn shame, man. And what sucks about this is that he's he's making not just regular traditional artists hurt, but digital artists are also gonna suffer a lot more. Like guys like me that it's already difficult for us because we're digital guys and we're being confused with it used to be getting confused with guys that were like photo mashing and stuff like that. And now with the development of AI, now we're starting to get paired in with those people, and that's hurting us even more. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
I get it. Like years ago, the digital artist was, because I've heard the argument of the digital artist was essentially that era's version of the quote unquote AI artist, where it was something new and blah 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 blah. But the difference is that we're actual artists as opposed to someone typing in a prompt and the computer stealing everybody else's artwork to put it together. You know what I mean? Like it's it, it just sucks. You know what I mean? Like I don't even know what else to say about it. And shame on Kaepernick, man. Like he for a long time he was kind of for many people at least a symbol of being that rebellious spirit of being for the people and standing up against, uh, you know, uh, what's the word I'm looking for? Hierarchy and shit like that. And you would think that he would have thought better, you know what I mean? Like to help artists as opposed to people that are just getting over. It's like the difference between a real celebrity and a hot tour girl. You know what I mean? Like
Well, that's the thing.
certain
Well, let's see. No, I'm going to cut you off there. The hot tour girl is just enjoying her 15 minutes. She didn't. She said something and didn't think it was ever going to go viral. Colin Kaepernick, like I got the post here. we know of him from being quarterback. We know of him for what he did.
No,
We
but
know
I'm not. I don't mean Kaepernick. I'm not talking about Kaepernick's. I'm talking about bringing forward AI artists. You know what I mean? Like
he
essentially,
doesn't. He well,
it,
that's it. He's not talking about it. He's not even talking about artists. He's just doing this for, like you said. It's not even that he knows what he's doing. It doesn't care. He's just doing it. He's just creating a platform for
but I,
people to
I'm
pay
I,
him to publish stuff.
I'm speaking on the perspective of this is essentially what his platform is going to do.
It's going to hurt us.
It's going to push traditional artists, which is the analogy of quote unquote celebrities. And by celebrities, I don't mean like that can mean like an actor who's put his chops in and had become established. You know what I mean? That would be the analogy of the traditional artist compared to an quote unquote AI artist who would be essentially the hot tour girl. You know what I mean? Like, fine, she didn't mean to get there, but it's gonna propel people ahead of people that have busted their ass 15, 20 years, 10 years, whatever. They're gonna get propelled over people that have actually put the work in. You know what I mean? Like that's kind of the point of the analogy of what I was trying to get at. Like this is it's gonna hurt all of us,
Oh, it's definitely
and
going to hurt.
and shame on him for that.
He look. He's going to go make his buck, and that's fine.
Well,
Um, but
Is it
this,
fine though?
well,
Is
because
it
I
though?
can't stop anybody from making a dollar.
this
No, we're
reminds
not
me a
gonna be able
lot
to
of
stop him. Yeah,
this
No,
reminds me a lot of like George Foreman Grill. Like Kaepernick, in my opinion, Kaepernick was sitting at home chilling, and someone came up and showed him this program, gave him a partnership in the company. Now he's car sales trying to sell it, but he has absolutely no idea about what the product that he's trying to sell. He talks about comics like the way he talks about comics, because he should know better about hard work, talent,
for
because being a
sure.
QB and being a comic creator, there are similarities. It takes a lot of hard work. It takes certain skill sets. It takes a bit of natural talent to get up to that pro level. So to me, I don't even think, I think if this whole thing blew up in his face, he could care less. He's going to collect his money. He's going to move on. I don't think he cares about getting underserved creators a shot. I don't think he cares about any of that stuff. It seems like to me, he's essentially just reading a sales pitch. And he's
Right.
essentially just a salesman trying to sell a product that is putting their name. Like George Foreman didn't sit in his basement and make a grill to try to make a healthier way to cook. Someone brought him the product and then he sold it. He went and won the World
Yeah.
Heavyweight Championship belt and said, I did this training eating by George Foreman Grill.
That's
Then
that's exactly right.
millions of people
he's
bought the George Foreman Grill. He has no idea how the fucking thing works. Colin
he's
Kaepernick doesn't
sell,
know about comics. He doesn't care about comics. He just selling a product that he's been given probably an ownership in.
he's selling us the sham wow.
Yeah, essentially. Like he has no idea what the
That's a good
product
one.
is. And he goes to his natural deal, which is he always brings in some kind of holier than thou mission. Like, I'm doing this because there's underserved or people who are gate kept from creating comics. There's no gatekeepers in comics. There's just money and hard work. You know, that's the gates in comics. Hard work and money, and then a little bit of luck, and you can get out there and get seen. No one's going to do anything on that platform that's going to be worth a damn. And if they are, it's just going to be artificially pushed and it'll fizzle out in a heartbeat. I mean, AI is going to be a problem for all of us, but I don't think Colin Kaepernick's I think this adventure will probably be a nothing burger in 6 months.
I mean, I definitely agree with you to a degree. I mean, the problem here is that Kaepernick's name does have reach. So what would probably be 5 months, 6 months fizzle out for someone else will double, triple that with him. So, and the more time something is spent out there, the more it gives people kind of like his investors and stuff the idea of putting something else forward. You know what I mean? And then we get this snowball effect that turns into something else that can potentially become a bigger problem later. That's essentially the issue that I kind of see with it because of the reach of his name. You know what I mean? And with
That's an excellent point.
$4 million behind him, that only extends that reach. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it could potentially become something of a bigger problem later.
Honestly, AI use by the big three is more of a problem for us, and that's just coming down the road. That's in the next couple years. Todd McFarlane's already excusing AI artwork. It's only a
Yeah.
matter of time before the big three, Marvel,
Well, it's
Image,
actually
and
already happened.
DC. Well, yeah, it'll
It's
be.
kind of happened, kind of, because Marvel actually had to, and Marvel had to pull a couple of covers. I forget which title it was for, but they had to pull some covers that were done with AI only because people made a stink about it. But they're essentially droplet by droplet, kind of letting these things go. You know what I mean? Letting it happen, letting it become kind of acceptable.
Well,
And if
they
no
want to
one is,
outsource the work because they want to try to make comics as cheap as possible. Marvel would fire everyone in the bullpen if they had a robot that could do it and no one said shit.
oh,
And that's the
100%,
harsh truth. Like Marvel, the
100%.
CEOs of Marvel could give a fuck less about us, about artists, about the art, about the comics. Same with DC, same with Image, same with a lot of those companies. Is they if the bottom line can be fixed, they are going to do it. And it's only a matter of time before they get some lobbyist somewhere because, movies is going to be what really kills us is when they can make animation and movies using AI and not have to hire people because Disney has the backing to get lobbyists, to get politicians to change rulings to allow them to copyright AI work. And before you know it, just like the car industry, just like the factory work, it's all going to be outsourced to AI and automated, and there
I mean,
will be dinosaurs.
thankfully, we they haven't gotten to the point in the technology where it's good enough to just kind of take over because they did try using AI. Well, not try, they did it for the intro of what was it? Secret Invasion, the Marvel series.
Yes.
That intro was AI and it looked like complete trash. So thankfully, it's not, at least up until that point. I don't know where it's at now, but eventually this thing is gonna be able to do it. You know what I mean? And
Well, it's the problem with AI. Like my dad worked at a paper mill up until he retired. The first generation of robots that came in there were clunky and useless. They were thousands of pounds and they barely ever worked. But the problem is AI never gets worse. Robots never get worse. All they do is just progressively get better. So right now the program's not good, but where's it going to be in a year when you got guys like Colin Kaepernick injecting money into it and angel backers? Where's it going to be in 2 years? Is it going to get to a point where it's not even using art? We're using other people's art. It's just creating to the point, it's
I mean, essentially, that's very possible. It is, from what I understand, a learning engine. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
you know, it's like having a kid, right? Like, when you have a kid, the way they learn is they kind of mimic you for a little bit until they become their own person. And that can essentially be the same thing here with AI, which is the scary part. Because it'll take some of the greats that we, acknowledge as far as art wise, and like the Frazettas, and you know what I mean, and take their art, learn it, mimic it, and then develop its own thing, and then it becomes sentient, and then we have Terminator 2, but that's besides the point. But it's a learning engine, and it's gonna be a problem. It's gonna be a problem. So now, with all this stuff that Kaepernick is putting into motion, it could also affect the psyche of artists. Some of us that are doing this stuff already, and like you, where it's like your morals stop you from kind of crossing the line, right? Like, do I learn AI to kind of stay with the trends and stay in, and then, if you really are an artist, the moral part of that's gonna bother the hell out of you, and you're gonna say no. And then what happens as this thing develops more, you're gonna get left behind. And sometimes those kind of decisions have to be made because if you get enough people to be like, you know what, screw that, I can't do this, this is theft, then you know you're not gonna stop it, but you're definitely gonna slow it down, or maybe even convince the right people to kind of get go against this thing because morally it's just not right. It's just not. You know what I mean? Like and AI is just this soulless kind of. I just you guys have seen AI. That it's just shiny. You know what I mean? Like it's just shiny and gives the illusion of fancy. You know what I mean? But it's soulless. It's just not like you could pick AI out from the crowd. You know what I mean? It's just not good. I don't. They're just pushing for this way too much, man. Like, just stop being cheap. Just pay an artist. You know what I mean?
It,
Like,
corporate suits don't want to pay anybody. It's cheap and easy. That's what they want.
but the
That's why I
problem
said
is, is that the way they win is because consumers are consuming it.
they will. That's what it is. But here's the thing: consumers don't care who's making it. They just want it.
If you give them a
That's
good-looking Spider-Man comic book and you sell it to them for $1, they don't give a shit if a robot did it. They don't care who got put out of work. They
and
don't
that's a
care that it's
shame.
soulless. They don't care that their cell phones batteries are being mined by children in mines in Uganda or in Congo. They don't care. At the end of the day, the consumer doesn't care as long as it entertains and it's cheap.
They don't care.
And it's like it's crazy because we live in a day and age where the advancements of technology have helped, but they've also hurt. They've helped because they've spread our reach, right? Where we can reach people on the other side of the world, no problem. But then they've hurt because there's such an oversaturation of things, and that instant gratification, that instant give me, you know what I mean? It makes the demand so much more for that. And then you get, boom, AI, like what's more instant than that, like it's like, hey, I like eating at a restaurant, but I'm okay with the cup of noodle soup. You know what I mean? Like, like it sucks.
Well, it's not all doom and gloom though, because if you look at the music industry, like they start cookie cutter putting out synthesized voices, just random churning out pop music. And eventually it gets to the point where the whole genre is oversaturated and people just stop caring. And then people start looking up these new artists that they found on a Spotify who's a true artist. Like you see that with country a lot. Country damn near turned into pop music. Now people go on to Spotify or YouTube and find that really rare country music artist who's doing it for the love. It'll happen the same thing in comic books. The market will be saturated with AI garbage, and then eventually people are going to be like, "Oh, hey, this guy actually hand draws this, or this gal actually hand wrote this," and it'll start coming back, but it'll just be more fringe, and it'll be it'll be harder for us to get seen, but I think it might be a benefit sometime in the future for us.
It might. I mean, but again, like as of right now, as of today, you guys got to remember, I'm a digital artist. You know, I'm the guy that's kind of stuck in between all this bullshit because this be real, traditional guys hate me, and AI guys want to be me, and like it sucks because it's like I will never support AI. I don't give a shit about AI. Like I care less about it. But I'm not in a position either where I necessarily have the respect of my peers because I'm a digital guy. Can I be a traditional guy? Absolutely, because to be a digital guy, you gotta have some traditional chops. You know what I mean? But it's difficult for me to speak on it and be taken serious because I'm a digital guy. You get what I'm getting at? Like, so all I could really say is from my perspective, AI just it just sucks. I'm not a fan. I don't agree with Kaepernick. That's kind of, I just wanted to get that out there because I'm pretty sure someone will watch this back and be like, what is it, this guy, digital guy? You know what I mean? So just to clear the air on that.
Well, I think that's going to be the great. We're at about 90 minutes, so that's probably the right place to go. The general's theme still works. Hard work isn't gatekeeping. The easy way isn't okay. If you're hiking through the forest to save your life, maybe the easy way is the best way. But when you're creating something, the easy way isn't the participation award isn't going to work out. We used football. We used Kaepernick in football as the example. You know, he knows better. He had to bust his ass to get to that Super Bowl. He knows better. But right now, he's about $4 million. So whatever. Angel, do me a favor and let everybody know where they can find you online if they need you for stuff and what you can give them.
So I can be found on all social medias under um, the underscore son of a saint or son of a saint art. I am a cover artist. I am a movie poster creator. I create works of art for all styles of the entertainment business. So you guys can DM me or you can email me at saintbydesign@gmail.com.
Warren, you're fresh off your first show today. Where else can they find you? Where can they get Sig and Joe? Fuck.
You can look up to me on all the social media platforms under Lunchbox Warren. Get a hold on me there personally through Messenger, and I can send you a book. If not, go onto my TikTok shop, and you can buy the Sig and Joe issue 1 on there. And Sig and Joe issue 2's is in the pipeline. It should be coming out and be ready for sale by September. And I wanted to thank you, Pete, and for having the stream, having me on, and thank you for all of your support, help
No worries.
on my journey through this stuff. And yeah, it's Lunchbox Warren. All the social medias, you can find me on there.
There you go, kids. Now, ironically enough, tomorrow I'll be at the Long Island Collectible Show in Babylon at the Babylon American Legion. I will have a copy or two of Sig and Joe with me. The cover I did. So come through. It'll be a good time. It'll be a lot of fun. And of course, you can find me at Pete11717 everywhere. But if you're not going to be there, then you can be here in 2 weeks, Long Island Tropicon. Fat Guy Inc.'s last event before New York Comic Con. All sorts of good stuff, all sorts of goodies. We're bringing all the fun, all the action for that one. And then you won't see us again until the big bad boy. New York Comic Con, October 17th to the 20th. 10 years of Fat Guy Inc. on the main floor of New York Comic Con, and we decided to go ridiculously huge. Oh, Angel, I don't know if you know this. So you know how we had that corner, right, on the main floor?
Yeah.
10 by 10?
Yeah.
We decided to change this year.
No kidding.
So we're going to have a 10 by 20 by 10 end cap.
Oh my.
Yeah. You see, Angel's the OG homie, so he's going to understand when I watch his reaction when I tell him. People ask, well, what do you think? This, that, the other thing. Like, oh my God, that's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, I'm scared shitless.
Yeah.
And I can't. And you know exactly how much work is happening right now. So get ready for this, kids. It's going to be fun.
Funny enough, I will probably be at New York Comic Con this year doing a couple of signings for stuff.
Cool. That's good. I can't wait. We will discuss it. We will talk about it more. Folks, thanks for hanging out. Again, the channel, as always, you can just anywhere on social media, you can find me, Pete11717. That's where you can find this on Twitch or Facebook or Instagram, and the YouTube's around there too. Thanks a lot. We appreciate it. Again, we'll see you live here on the Pit this coming Monday at 10. I'm going to draw something, maybe dragon related, since it's the season finale of House of Dragon, but we'll see what happens. Thanks, everybody. Talk to you later. Bye.
Bye-bye.